Hey guys, the government of Canada has released further information or update on the Homecare Worker Immigration pilot program that is set to open on March 31st, 2025. Guys, remember that this immigration program is set to grant permanent resident visa to home care workers from all over the world who are able to secure home care jobs in Canada. All right, so in this video I am going to walk you through on the relevant updates as released by the Ircc, the documents you need to gather in order to hop on this opportunity as soon as it launches. And at the end of this video, I'm also going to mention two popular misleading information that is out there that you should be mindful of to avoid anyone defrauding you in this entire process. Okay guys, so without much further ado, let us dive right into the video. Hey guys, my name is Kate, and on here I bring content around moving to Canada, living in Canada, lifestyle vlogs, health, relationship, cooking, and all of that good stuff. So if this sounds like what you are interested in, why not join us? Click on the subscribe button down below and do not forget to turn on the notification bell, okay guys, so that YouTube will let you know whenever I drop in a new video. Okay guys, and if you are my returning subscriber or viewer, you already know you are a darling. Thank you for always sticking around with your girl. So guys, according to Ircc, there are going to be two streams to this program, one for applicants in Canada and the other for applicants abroad. Okay, so when this program opens on March 31st, 2025, Ircc would be focusing on applicants in Canada. Guys, you already know that Ircc have been making a lot of reforms lately, and one of them is that they want to focus on granting permanent residency to temporary residents who are already in Canada. So this is one of the measures of achieving that. Okay, so they promise to open the pathway for people who are abroad in future dates. Okay, so but for now, March 31st, 2025, this program will be open for all applicants who are already in Canada. So if you currently reside in Canada and you have a job offer as a home care worker, either as a home support worker or as a home childcare provider, please watch this video to the end, get your documents together, and get ready to hop on this opportunity as soon as it opens. And guys, I would like to mention this is a very competitive immigration program. Okay, so previously how it goes is that as soon as the program opens up, people are allowed to put up their application, but as soon as Ircc maxes out their quota for the year, the program will be closed to reopen the next year. Okay, so this is why you should use this opportunity or these few days remaining to gather your documents and get ready to apply as soon as it launches. So let us talk on the processes involved. Ircc is saying that this particular immigration program is going to be a one-step process, okay, to permanent residency for home care workers and their family members. Now, previously there used to be two streams, okay, to this application. The first stream is the gaining experience, or let me say two classes. Okay, the first class used to be the gaining experience class, and the second being the direct to permanent residency class. So previously, when you apply through the gaining experience class, you'll be given a work permit, a restricted work permit that you can use to gain work experience in Canada in this field. And as soon as you're able to achieve 12 months work experience in Canada, you can then apply for the second class, which is the permanent residency class. But right now, Ircc is scrapping the first class. Everything is now direct to permanent residency, meaning that as you are applying directly for permanent residency in Canada. And this means that you do not need, or you no longer need, a Canadian work experience. Okay, this means that if you have worked as a home care worker in Canada or abroad, you can apply. So you do not need Canadian experience for this stream, and which is good news, because the previous pilot, individuals who had the restricted work permit were having difficulties with their employers. Like when they land in Canada and they have issues with their employer, they find it difficult to switch employers to continue to gather their required work experience, and this makes a lot of them to run out of status. So I think Ircc has made corrections, okay, on previous pilots in this new pilot, which is why they have decided to take out the gaining experience class. All right, guys, so another important update here is that the language requirement has been reduced to a CLB4. So what does this mean? Canada has two official languages, English and French. And I keep saying this, there is little or no Canadian immigration, economic immigration program that does not require you to have or to show some level of proficiency in either of these languages or both. Okay, so which is why I always like to discuss language proficiency test for Canada immigration. I already have dropped some lesson notes on Facebook on Canada language test requirements, how to go about the entire process, and the type of test that you can write for each situation. So go ahead and look for that post on my Facebook. But I also plan to drop a video on YouTube and TikTok on language test requirements for Canada immigration. So look out for that video as soon as it drops. Watch it and learn everything about it, okay, so that you do not make mistakes. So but for the purpose of this video, I'm not going to go deep into explaining it. What is required here is that your language test score should be a minimum of CLB4. Guys, this is like the basic. This is, if you can speak basic English, you can get a CLB4. So do not be scared, do not be discouraged. Go ahead, book for your test and write it and get your results, okay? Most of these results do not take longer than 2 weeks to be out, okay, guys? So for your educational qualification, you only need to have an equivalent of Canadian high school diploma for you to apply through this pathway. So what this means is your high school certificate or your secondary school certificates. If you're from West Africa, this is like your WAEC, or Nigerians, your NECO, your GCE. For the rest of the world, this is any certification you get for completing your secondary school education or high school education, as the case may be. So guys, this is the minimum requirement, okay? If you have more than this, if you have your college certificate, if you have your bachelor's, your master's, your PhD, go ahead and put it up, okay? But the minimum is equivalent of a Canadian high school diploma. All right, guys. Next, for your work experience, applicants do not need Canadian work experience to apply under this stream or under this pathway, okay? But you are expected to have relevant and recent work experience in this job or as a home care worker, okay? So what this means is that your work experience does not necessarily need to be from Canada, okay? It can be your experience from back home, all right, guys? But it has to be recent and relevant. For Canada immigration, recent experience or recent work experience means that you need to have accumulated it within the last 3 years before you put up your application, okay? And relevant work experience means that it has to be related, okay? So for the benefits of this pilot program, it is specifically for home child care providers and home support workers. So go and search the NOC code, the Canada NOC for home child care providers and NOC for home support workers. take your time and read through the information thereon, because they will tell you if there are any certifications that are needed for the job, academic qualification requirements for the job, the roles and responsibilities or duties that are expected to be performed in that job. So it doesn't matter what the job title is for your experience. What matters is that the duties and responsibilities that you have carried out in that job should be about 75% of the responsibilities that are listed on the Canada NOC table. Okay, so this is why you really need to go, because I get a lot of questions, a lot of people asking me, this is my job title, am I qualified? I cannot tell you you are qualified or not until I see the responsibilities or the duties you have performed in that job. Okay, so Ircc requires that when you submit your employment letters or introduction letter from your employer, the job description or the responsibilities that they list on there in the letter would match with the responsibilities that are listed on either the home support worker NOC or the home child care provider NOC. Okay, however, if you do not have up to 6 months of qualifying work experience in Canada or abroad, you can substitute with an educational credential of not less than 6 months in training that is related to home care. Okay guys, so if you have a certification, a degree or whatever that took you not less than 6 months to acquire and it is related to home care, please, this can suffice for the work experience requirement. Okay guys, then again, you need to have a job offer. This is the cocoa, the main thing. You need to have a job offer as a home care worker in Canada. So according to this new update, they are making room for flexible work opportunities. Okay, before now, the just concluded pilot program, your job offer had to be either from a private individual who has a CRA business registration, but people did not really understand this concept because Ircc was not explicit on the explanation. But right now, they have explicitly provided information around the job offer and who it should come from. So but right now, Ircc states that your employers could be an individual, home health care service providers, home care support service providers, direct care agencies, pediatric home health care service providers. However, this does not include recruitment agencies. I keep getting this question, what is the difference between recruitment agencies and home care service providers? Let me explain this the easiest way I can. All right, so recruitment agencies are people who are hired to recruit workers for an organization, okay, or for different organizations. So for instance, if we have a recruitment agency, let's say Rock of Ages agency, and we have Gracious Home Care, okay, so if you are employed by Rock of Ages agency, what this means is that Gracious Home Care has contracted their recruitment services to Rock of Ages agency. Okay, so when they hire you, Rock of Ages, when they hire you, you are indirectly working for Gracious Home Care, who would deploy you to your clients. So Ircc says no, they do not want that. They want you to be hired directly by your employer. Okay, they want you to be hired directly by Gracious Home Care, who would deploy you to your clients, or get hired directly by the clients. Okay guys, so if this is not clear enough for you, go ahead and ask your question in the comment section, okay, and provide enough details and I'll try as much as possible to clarify you more on this. Your employer could be an individual or home care service providers, okay? It cannot be a recruitment agency. All right, guys? So guys, make sure that your educational qualification is being evaluated, okay? Like I mentioned, I'm going to be dropping a video on how to evaluate your documents or your educational credentials for Canada immigration. Watch that video to understand the process, okay? Do not just submit your credential in the application form, okay? It's not going to be valid. You need your report, your evaluation report, okay? So you get your documents, sign up on the organization's page, send your transcript, and when they get evaluated, they'll send you your report or the result of the evaluation. It is that result or report of the evaluation that you would be expected to submit during this application. Okay guys, so if you have watched up to this moment and you find this information valuable, why not take out a second to hit the like button for me, okay? Like this video so that the algorithm will suggest this video to other people, all right? And it will also show me that you support what I am doing, okay guys? So finally, there are two false information or misleading information out there that I would like you to watch out for, okay, so that you do not fall victim of any fraudulent activities or people who like to swindle other people of their hard-earned money. First of all, avoid individuals who tell you that you need a labor market impact assessment to get a job or to get on this pathway. Please, please, and please, LMIA is not included here. It's not a requirement. You do not need an LMIA for your job offer for this pathway, okay guys? Just secure a job, apply for a job, get interviewed, secure the job, and that's all. You do not need to pay anyone. You do not need to pay for the job. You do not need to pay for an LMIA. You do not even need an LMIA. A lot of self-acclaimed agents are parading the entire internet, telling people that they need an LMIA for the caregiver pathway that is about to open. Please ignore all of that. It is false. Okay guys, so a second misleading information you should be careful about out there is information on certifications. I've seen a lot of advertisements on certificate programs that you can do as a caregiver in order to be successful in this immigration program. Okay, so guys, like I've mentioned, it's either you have 6 months of relevant work experience or a certification that is not less than 6 months in training, okay, a related course. Okay, so you have to be careful. Make sure that any certification you will be going for would not be less than 6 months in training, and you are doing this because you do not have up to 6 months of relevant work experience. To secure a home care worker job, you do not necessarily need a caregiver certificate. Some agencies train you themselves unless you are being hired by an individual, okay? Most of the time, you are required to have basically first aid, CPR, and AED certification. All right, so before you stake your money in this, I would advise you to go online and see what employers or what certifications employers are looking out for, so that you do not end up spending a lot of money getting certificates that are not required in the first place. Okay guys, so be careful. I do not want you to fall into the wrong hands. Okay guys, I do not mean any harm. So another two important information I would like to throw out here is that if you have applied under the just concluded pilot, the home child care provider and the home support worker pilot programs on or before June 17 that it got closed, your applications will still be processed by Ircc. Okay, so this new pilot does not affect your application in any way. If you have put up your application before the end of the just concluded pilot program, Ircc says that they will still go ahead to process your application. All right. And secondly, if you are a home care worker that has run out of status, Ircc is saying now that you may be eligible to apply under this pilot. Okay, so typically in Canada, if you are out of status, you are not qualified to apply for any of the immigration programs. But Ircc is saying that for caregivers or for home care workers who have run out of status, probably because of issues they have with their former employers for the previous, this is what I mentioned earlier, guys. So they are trying to salvage the issues around the just concluded pilot. Okay, so what they are trying to say is that if you were part of that pilot program and you have run out of status, that you may be eligible to apply under this pilot. Okay, guys, so when I made the first video about this pilot program on my YouTube channel, I mentioned the documents that you would need to claim your work experience. So go and watch that video to know the documents you need to gather from your employer to show your relevant and recent work experience. Okay, and as an update, you should try to include your tax documents. Okay, collect your T4 from your employers if it is applicable to you. If you have your NOA, your notice of assessment, please include that as well. Okay, and if your employer is a private individual, they need to have a CRA business registration. Okay, so this is the opportunity you have to gather all of these documents before the launch or the official opening of this pilot. Okay, so if your private employer do not have a CRA business registration, get them to do it right away. And they need to prove that they can pay you. All right, they need to show their pay slips if they are still working, or their bank statements, okay, to show that they are financially able to pay you as a worker under their employment, okay, or as someone who is working for them. All right, guys, so guys, in all of this, I know that the most difficult part is how to secure a home care worker job in Canada. I'll be dropping a video of organizations or agencies that hire home care workers from within Canada and outside Canada, so expect that video to drop soon. I also have a video on how to tailor your resume to fit the Canadian style on my YouTube. You can do well to watch that video on my YouTube channel. All right, guys, so guys, with all of this being said, do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, share it to your loved ones, and look out for my other videos that will be coming up soon. Okay, I wish you good luck and bye bye.